Good afternoon, everybody. We rolled up a character in 13th Age today, a new D20 system that Jason and I have been looking into. Um, kind of interesting. A lot of new things in there, and check it out.
You have 4 die 6. So we're going to make a character, by the way. Big Mike's going to make a character for maybe a potential local game or maybe even some kind of online game, maybe. We'll see. But either way, it's fun to make characters. So what the hell?
My favorite part.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got, you can roll them, 4 die 6, throw out the low and put them where you want to, or you can point buy 28 points to purchase your numbers, right?
Right.
And then you have your race and your class will allow you to add bonuses to those particular attributes.
Nice.
So
nice.
how did you want to? And I would not write it, of course. I would scribble it down, and then we'll add the bonuses together. So,
Sure.
So what do you want to do? Point buy or?
Oh, we'll roll it. We'll roll it. Absolutely.
Okay. So 4 die 6, throw out the low, and then again you can arrange them as you see fit once you get to your class, right?
Okay, let me pull up my dice roller here. And
I need this keyboard in the way.
We're going to roll 46, throw out the low.
Sweet.
So the first one's going to be a 13.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put that in here so I can remember it.
13th age, and the first roll is a 13. That's a good omen.
Right? Next, we've got a 15.
Nice.
Then a 13. Jeez.
You're throwing out the low?
Yes, sir.
I'm teasing you.
Right. Another 13.
Woo!
We need something with some character here. Come on.
I know
14.
it, huh? 14? Wow.
And
last one.
9 is 15 again.
Wow. Holy cow. All right. So you have classes. So race, of course, very simple. Let's go back here to races. Races are human, dwarf, dark elf, high elf, wood elf, gnome, half orc, halfling.
Okay, and I'll go a little vanilla for our first one, and we'll go human.
Okay, so you get to put +2, right, in any of those attributes, or you can break that +2 into a +1 and apply it to the attribute.
Okay, kind of wherever.
Yep. So human has that's the only benefit of the human, and the human also gets a bonus feat that other races don't. That's it. That's the only thing that separates the human from other races.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and raise our intellect. There we go. And let me make race human.
So have you already put them in the spots you want them?
Yeah. Yep, we're good.
Oh, so you went straight down?
Well, I went straight down, and then I swapped my charisma and intellect. So I've got a 13 strength, 15 constitution, 13 dexterity, 17 intellect with the bonus, 14 wisdom, and a 13 charisma.
Gotcha. 13 wisdom and 14 charisma?
Swap those. 14 wisdom, 13 charisma.
Oh, sorry. Cool. So your intelligence is a 17.
Right.
Sweet. Okay, so you'd added the +2 fully to intelligence. I get you.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So now the races. So again, you also will get a bonus feat. Depending on your class, you'll probably have a feat related to that, but you do at least get an extra feat choice as a human.
Okay.
So classes are barbarian, and they tell you in the book, these are in order of difficulty. So barbarian is the easiest class to actually play and be, right? It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Wizard is the hardest class. It requires more work from you, more understanding of the rules, etc. So it's pretty cool. They basically say if you want to get noobs in, you can kind of give them a class that suits their level of play. Obviously, we're experienced, so whatever you want, I don't care. But there's barbarian, bard, cleric, fighter, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, and wizard.
Sure. Let's go wizard.
Wizard, he's going full bore. Okay, so let's go find wizard. Back here in chapter. All right, so wizard, spell progression, gear. Here we go. So ability scores. Wizards gain a +2 class bonus to intelligence or wisdom. You cannot put the +2 in the same modifier. So you put +2 in intelligence already, so you would have to put that +2 in wisdom.
Awesome.
So you can't stack it. So +2 in wisdom.
Cool. So now that's a 16.
That's a 16. Yep, absolutely. And that's because of your wizardness.
Nice.
Okay. So let's, before we finish this, let's go back and do the two most important things, really, that
Cool.
make this game shine. You have to pick. You have 3 points that you get to spend on your relationships with the 13 gods. So now, again, you only have 3 points. You won't have points with every god.
Sure.
Right? And then you pick whether those relationships are neutral, positive, or negative. It's very, very cool. All of this triggers narrative gameplay stuff, right? That would give me hints as to what might happen with you between these gods, or you triggering ideas. So there is the Archmage.
What page? Which page is that on? Actually, I'll pull
These
it
are
up.
all chapter 1. Chapter 1 is icons. It describes everything about the icons in chapter 1.
Oh, okay.
So there's the Archmage, the Crusader, the Diabolist. Diabolist, is that right? How do you say that?
I like Diabolist.
Diabloist.
Works too.
Okay, I have no idea. The Dwarf King, the Elf Queen, the Emperor, the Great Gold Worm, the High Druid, the Lich King, the Orc Lord, the Priestess, the Prince of Shadows, and the Three. So what this means is you can actually you can spend all 3 points in a positive relationship, conflicting relationship, or negative relationship with any. You could pick 1 point for 3 different. You could pick 2 for 1 and negative for 1. Entirely how you see your character's relationship with these deities ultimately. Okay.
Right.
And a positive relationship means they'll do things for you. That means they have a relationship where they might say, listen, I've heard through the grapevine you're trying to find the Elven Sword. I'm going to send a messenger to you, and that messenger is going to have a map that's going to help you get to that Elven Sword. So they can be a positive thing. They can request you help them do things, etc. If it's a negative thing, of course, like the Orc Lord might have burned your village and murdered your family, and you're going to have a negative relationship with the Orc Lord. You're going to want to get revenge on the Orc Lord and all of his minions. So if you have a conflicting relationship, for instance, let's say you are a human wizard and the Archmage is technically kind of your deity, but you might have a conflicting relationship. You like him, but you don't. There's something there that's not necessarily positive, negative.
Sure.
You can really tailor your character's entire kind of setup in this world based on these. Now, to give you an idea, there's no alignment for players in this.
Oh.
There's alignment for the deities. So, for instance, the Gold Worm is lawful good. Chaotic evil is our, let me see here, where are the icons? So I'll give you an idea. So chaotic evil would be, the Orc Lord is a chaotic evil, and the Diabolist, how do you say that? Diabloist?
Yeah, I'm going with Diabolist.
Okay.
Like
Diabolist.
Like diabolic?
Yeah, right. Exactly, right. And he's chaotic evil. And then the middle would be the High Druid, for instance. The Dwarf King is neutral lawful. So kind of gives you an idea that if you're aligned with the Great Gold Worm, for instance, you're going to be pretty much lawful good, right? If you got a +3 relationship with him, you're going to be, for the most part, lawful good, or there wouldn't be a positive relationship. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So but you don't actually have alignment, which is kind of neat.
That's neat, though. I like that because that's more realistic.
Yeah. They're aligned, and then you're just aligned with them.
With them, correct. So I think I'm going to put 2 points positive in the Archmage.
Okay.
And 1 negative in the Lich King.
Nice. Okay, so +2 Archmage. That's positive, or just 2 positive. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And you don't actually gain any more relationship points until level 8 or something. So, and one negative. This is with the Archmage, and then a negative with the Lich King. Very cool. Now, what happens when game starts? Everybody in the party rolls 3. You get 3 points. You roll 3 dice 6. Any 5 or 6 basically create scenarios during the session in which you could use that 6 to call on a relationship or to have something happen narratively for your character. So let's say you rolled a 6 at the beginning of the game. You roll your 3 dice 6 and you roll a 6, and you set that aside in front of your character sheet. And let's say we're 2 hours in, and you're in the middle of a swamp, and you basically say, "Okay, I'm going to use this 6, and I want to stumble across an old NPC that happens to be out here hunting crocodiles in the swamp, and he's going to help me get out of this swamp."
Right.
So you would tell us that tell, and all of a sudden here comes Joe on a raft, and Joe says, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" "Hey, I'll help you get out of the swamp." You can use this 6 for a positive impact in game. In all kinds of ways. If it's a 5, it has a positive impact, but I can put a negative spin on it. So you really want 6s, but a 5, you could say something like, "Well, I want to sneak into the monastery. All I have is a 5. I want to get through this. I'm going to use this 5 to sneak into the monastery." I say, "Okay, great. You can do that. You can do that by negotiating with the nun. But the nun's going to ask you to go talk to the orc butcher down the street and rectify a bill. And the orc butcher isn't real friendly, right? So you might have to go jump through a hoop, and then the nun will let you in, right?" Okay. So I can put a negative spin on that, or I can give you a give-take relationship. So that's how, at the beginning of every session, you roll those dice. If you roll 3 6s, you would have 3 significant icon influences. And those influences would be based on your Archmage, right? What the Archmage might do for you. The Archmage might send an NPC your way, or might give you a map to a magical device, or might actually bestow upon you a magical device. So again, as a player, you're in control of these narratives, these stories. So it's very cool, right? Okay, so that kind of sums those up. That's how that works, okay? And of course, it creates plot twists all the time. All right, next, we have the next most important piece, I think, to this, of course, and not unlike other RPGs, are backgrounds. But there are no skills in this, only backgrounds. You invent the background. You get 8 points to spend on your backgrounds, right? You can spend a max of +5 in any background you choose, right?
Right.
Which will never be higher than that. I think maybe level 8 again, you get to add 1 or 2 points depending on your class to a particular background or something. But 5 is the highest you'll ever have. If you pick a background, you have to put at least 1 point in it. There are no skill checks. A background implies skill checks. So you could say, well, I spent, again, we haven't gotten to the most important piece of all of this. This is the icons and the backgrounds. We're going to get to the most important here in a second. But so let's say you say, well, I was a sailor for 5 years, and I have +2 in sailing. Or I was a sailor. So your background, you would say, it's basically one sentence. I was a sailor on the ship Shining Dawn. And you put 3 points in that, right?
Right.
Anytime something comes up based on sailing, navigation or sailing, whatever, you could just say, listen, I was a sailor on the Shining Dawn. I want to use this skill to navigate under the stars here. I want to use this skill to swing across to the pirate ship, whatever. And I'd say, great, plus add that to this roll, right?
Wow.
So you actually invent the background. You want it general enough that it kind of encapsulates into anything that might exist in that background, right? You get 8 points to spend on those. So you can do that now if you'd like to.
Now,
right?
How ambiguous is it to, like, can I just pick 8 small things, or does it have to be 8 points into one big thing, or?
You could. No, you can't have more than 5 points in any one thing.
Right. Okay.
So you could say, like, for instance, an example here is I was let's see, one of the examples here was I was a sword master.
Sure.
So you could say sword master +3. Anything related to using swords, crafting swords, working with swords, identifying whatever. You might at any time in the game, because again, you're in control of your narrative. Mike's character says, listen, can I tell if this sword, based on my sword mastery, if this sword is magical? Sure, +3, make a roll against your intelligence, add +3 to that. We'll see. And you pick up the sword, you look the sword over, and you say, yeah, I think this is magical, right?
Nice.
So yeah, but
Okay.
it could be something you kind of want it to be a little broader than that. Like I was a sailor on a ship, or I worked as a blacksmith's apprentice, or
Sure.
right? Okay.
Well, I'm
But you
thinking
can just pick cat burglar.
we'll go big with a 5 in. I was, let's see if the DM allows this. I was a wizard's instructor, or an
Okay.
instructor at a mage's school, something like that.
Okay. So you would literally write that down. So I would put something like, name the school. I was a instructor at the wizard school, blah, whatever, +3, right? Or +5, whatever you want to do.
At Golgak, the wizard school.
Golgak. Cool. And +5 in that?
Yep. And let's go +3. Let's make it easy. I was an alchemist. Easy enough? Or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then again, there's no skills like climbing things. You would just say, here's a place where I think my alchemist background would come into play, and we would debate it, or I would say, yeah, absolutely. And we're there,
Cool.
right? +3. Cool. So there's your background points spent. Okay.
Beautiful.
Now the most important part of the role play is the one unique thing.
I was reading
No one
about
else-
that. That is cool.
Yeah, no one else in the whole world has this one unique thing. The one unique thing has to be reasonable. Like, you can't fly. I'm the one human on the planet that can fly. You're not Superman.
Sure.
And it can't have modifiers, combat bonuses, etc. So your one unique thing might be like my character here that I made this morning as an example. I'm the only human to ever serve in the Elf Queen's private security guard.
Nice.
So in the whole world, I'm the only human that ever served as a security force unit for the Queen. And then I connected that to my positive relationship with the Elf Queen. So she knows me. I worked for her. I was in private consult. So I can call upon that. And of course, as a DM, from your one unique thing, I can create interesting, again, narrative twists and things that would draw into a story, or you create twists that take the party on trips or on adventures, right?
Nice.
So
Okay.
the one unique thing can be something like, I was the your background already, right? I was an instructor at the school of Golgak, and I am the only human ever to have something with the Golgak school, or burned the school to the ground, or whatever the case may be. Something
Now,
that makes you unique.
could you take the liberty of saying, while I was a teacher at the School of Golgak, I found the ancient artifact,
Yep.
the Staff of Magi?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So now you would write that down. While I was at the School of the Golgak, I am the person who found the Staff of the Magi.
One whom found the one staff of the Magi.
Right, and then I can either create a magical item and bestow that upon you, or you can call upon your icon relationship to have access to that Staff of the Magi, that kind of thing, right? Or
Right.
maybe the Staff of the Magi is being held by your enemy, the Lich King. Now we got a
Sure.
story. Now you're going to go after the damn staff, which you found, and that guy took it from you, right? We have all
Nice.
kinds of ways to play with this, right? To create an initial story right out of the gate. And again, if you had a party of 4, you can imagine all of the things coming into this narrative, this narrative role play. So there we go. So those are the 3 things that really set you up in the role play department, right? Backgrounds, icon relationships, and then of course your one unique thing, which sets you apart totally from anyone else in the world. Now let's go to our feats. You get a feat as a human. Those are on page 45.
Yep.
Let's see here. 45, wizard, and of course wizard feats are on page 54. But let's go to wizard first to make sure they don't give you a feat you don't want to duplicate. So let's see what feats they give the wizard automatically here. I'm sorry if I'm talking loud. I got these headsets. I can't tell how loud I am with the headset.
Oh, no, you're coming through good. I hope I'm not too soft.
So if I'm screaming, the audience understand it's because I can't hear myself.
No, I think you're coming through clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Do you have any? So Wizard, let's take a look. Here we go. So Wizard, of course, is on starts on page 144. Gear, you get to pick again. First level wizards usually have a dagger sharp enough to butter or brawling, a robe or two, and a well-balanced wand. Ritual components in pouches are being carried. Extremely minor pockets, etc. Wizards who have kept their spell components up to date start with 25 gold pieces. Right? So
Cool.
you would get to choose an armor type, light, heavy, shield, etc. Now, understand heavy armor for you and a shield for you is actually a negative attack penalty. So you'd want to stay in no armor or light armor. Okay.
Sure.
And you don't have to buy this, right? This is what you start with, and then you have 25 gold. Or you can roll 1d6 times 10 and gamble that you'll have more gold.
Sure.
Okay, so that's up to you.
Let's gamble it. I always like rolling for stuff on character generation. So
you got it.
Let's bring that up real quick. And 1d6.
Yep.
Let's change that from a 4 to a 1 and roll. We got a 5.
Okay, so you have 50 gold to start.
Cool.
Right, and the great thing is you don't have to buy anything yet, right? There is a whole area of but again, you get to pick for the most part your gear, your weapons, and your armor. So none or light is recommended, of course, because of the attack penalties for heavy and shield. However, the great thing about this is wizards aren't limited. Robes?
For sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
so your base AC will be 10 for robes.
Okay.
Which, by the way, light armor is also 10. So you're not losing anything to gold robes.
Sure.
And base AC 10. Now, one-handed weapons. Now, what's cool about the other thing I love about 13th Age is weapon damage is not based on the weapon; it's based on the class.
Right.
So a fighter with a two-handed sword does more damage than a wizard with a two-handed sword. Right? Very cool. Instead of it being about the weapon, it's about the class.
Absolutely.
Okay. So again, there's small weapons: a dagger, light, simple, heavy, or martial for you, two-handed. You also have thrown. Again, it says weapons here. You might prefer to think of that you will never use weapons, ultimately, as you're forced into it, right?
Right.
So you might want to take a melee weapon and a wizard ranged weapon. It's up to you.
Okay.
Right. You need at least a free hand to spell cast, so remember that.
Yep. So the ranged weapon is really going to be something that we think about as like a dagger, because I don't want to tie it up with like a bow or a crossbow.
Right. And I'll remind you too. So let's say, for instance, if you take there is a hand crossbow, by the way, Mike. There's a one-handed crossbow, like a pistol crossbow here.
Right.
So you could do that. Okay. The light and simple all have negative attack bonuses for you as a wizard. So again, your damage isn't affected as much as your attack is. So I wouldn't recommend anything other than a dagger for a ranged or light crossbow for ranged.
Okay.
And then again, for one-handed melee, a dagger or a staff, there's no negative modifiers. Once we get up to light or heavy, then you're going to suffer some big attack modifiers, negative modifiers. So
do
a
I
staff,
have to
for
purchase
instance,
those, or am I just starting with those?
No. You just pick if you want dagger, crossbow. No, you don't have to purchase them.
Perfect.
But you could certainly take a heavy crossbow, but you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer negative attack bonuses, right?
Right.
Staff is two-handed, but it does 1d6 damage. A stagger is one-handed, does 1d4.
Perfect.
And then, of course, a dagger can be thrown, or you can get a hand crossbow. There's no ammo in this, by the way, either. There's no buying of ammo. They just make assumptions you've got ammo. Okay.
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 Great.
Next, okay, so now we got to figure out your total hit points, which is 6 plus your con modifier times 3.
Oh, see, I don't have any of my ability modifiers in.
Oh, let's do this. Let's see. I jumped ahead, right? Let's go back and do that. Okay, so let's see. Strength is what? 13?
Correct.
So that's +1.
Okay.
So you're going to write beside that +1, and then you're going to write beside that +2. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So +1 is the strength modifier. +2 is the modifier plus your level. So as you level up in this, you always add your level to your modifier.
On the sheet I'm using, it actually shows modifier, and then in a second row below it, modifier plus level.
That's it. That's the same sheet I've got. Yep, you got it.
Perfect.
Okay. Next is your what? Your
Constitution of 15.
Yeah, that's +2.
Okay, so then +3 below.
Mm-hmm.
Dexterity is 13, +1 +2.
Yeah, you got it.
That's also your initiative, it looks like.
Yes, it is, and you might take a feat that affects that. So you don't put that anything in that yet, because well, actually, you'd still put in +1 +2, and then later you might yeah, then you may add if you took a feat that has an initiative bonus, you might change that, right?
Cool. Okay. Intellect of 17.
That is +3.
Okay. And wisdom of 16.
That is +3.
Beautiful. Charisma 13, so that's another
+1. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so your starting hit points are 6 plus your con.
So my con
bonus. So 6
bonus,
plus your,
not bonus plus.
Yeah. Just con, no level bonus here.
So maximum hit points starting 8.
So 8 times 3. So your maximum hit points are 24.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Cool.
So your HP is 24. You get a adventurer feat at level 1, and you have 5 first level spells.
Ooh. Okay.
Your initiative is your dex mod plus level. So you would write, unless you take a feat, of course, that increases that.
Cool.
Your armor class is 10 plus the middle mod of your con, dex, and wisdom. So if your highest is +3, your lowest is +1, you take the +2.
Okay.
You take the middle one.
That'll actually, and it's ascending, I'm assuming?
It doesn't matter, just whatever's in the middle.
I mean, as far as it goes up to, not down to.
Correct, right. Sorry, yeah. So what are you, +2 then?
Right.
Or +3. So your armor class will be 12.
Right.
Okay. Not counting shield, of course, if you get a shield. Physical defense is 10 plus the middle of your strength, con, and dex. Oh, by the way, plus level. So you're technically 13 armor class.
Oh,
okay. Your physical defense is 10 plus your strength, con, and dex middle mod. So whatever's in the middle there, you use.
2 2s and a 3.
So you would use a 2 plus your level. That's +3. So your physical defense is a 13 as well.
Okay.
Your mental defense is 12.
Okay.
Plus the middle mod of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, plus your level.
4 4 and a 2, so 3.
Yes. 4 4 and a 2.
Correct.
Right. So your high is a 4, your low is a 2, so 4 plus 4 plus 1 for your level. So your mental defense is 17.
Beautiful.
Remember, you don't average them. You actually say 4 4 2. So your top is 4, your bottom is 2, your middle is 4.
It's 4. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, you're not averaging them. Sweet. So there's your AC, your physical defense, and your mental defense.
Nice.
You got your hit points. Your recoveries, it says, are probably 8, but let's wait and see if you take a feat that affects that.
Sure.
Your recovery dice will be 1d6 times your level, so 1d6 plus your con mod, which is, I think, 2.
Ooh, where is that? Oh, right there next to it. 1d6 plus con mod of 2. Correct.
Yep. Okay. Your background, 8 times 5, you already did backgrounds. Icon relationships, you already did that. Talents, you get 3 talents. And you get 1 feat.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah. And you get 1 feat. And then, of course, as a human, you get a second feat. So you can pick general feats at adventurer level. You can pick racial feats at adventurer level. You can pick class feats at adventurer level. Right.
Interesting.
So, and your race is human, so there are no racial feats directly related there. So you probably wouldn't waste time on that, right?
Okay.
And then talents, you get 3. Let's see here. So let's look at those feats real quick.
Sure. because I'm going to pick 2 of those now. Now, the only ones I'm seeing here, they look more like spells to me, right? Like,
actually, no. Well, yeah, those are spells, but feats are going to be back here under the actual feats tables. On page 45 is general feats.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. And page 54 is the beginning of wizard feats.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
See, like cantrip mastery is an adventure level feat for you.
Yeah. Ritual
and
magic, cantrip mastery. Yep. Holy cow. You can use a cantrip style version of any spell you know. I like that. I want that one.
Yeah. Okay. So cantrip mastery is 1.
Yep. Let me put that in here real quick. I found a really neat, you can't see it, but it'll be in a video I'm going to upload showing the actual form fillable version of the 13th Age character sheet.
Oh,
directly from Pelgrane Press. This thing is beautiful. It includes the font they use in the book.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. So when you type in, you get that font?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so
right?
Cool. Okay.
Too cool. So then let's go down one more. We've gone that evocation, reroll natural attack roll that is less than the escalation die. That's kind of neat. Confusion, denial. But I want to look into these generals as well to see if there's not something there.
Okay.
And we'll zoom in a little. And rapid reload, reach tricks, weapon in a special way, ritual casting. No. Strong recovery, skill escalation. Further backgrounding. Interesting. Improved initiative. Right there. There we go.
+4. Yep.
There
you go.
Initiative +4.
Sweet. Cool. Okay, so that's, and again, human race, we already did your extra feat. Okay, so then it would be a matter of picking your 5 first level spells. Very cool, right? And of course, you can cantrip. Yeah. Let's see here. Cantrips, it talks about alarm, arcane, ghost sounds. You already have cantrips, but I believe you took a feat that lets you cantrip most of these spells, correct?
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Again, this is the most complicated class, right?
So sure. Where are we going for spells? Do you have a page?
They do. They have spells. Let's see. Spells start on, where am I at here? 151.
151.
Utility spells, and then, of course, 152 starts first level spells.
Beautiful.
And you get 5 of those suckers.
Holy cow.
Utility spells under first level, and then, of course, your normal spells.
Nice.
Acid Arrow, Blur, Charm Person, Color Spray, Magic Missile, Ray of Frost, Shield, Shocking.
We got to have Magic Missile, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Spells. Powers and spells right there in the middle.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's page 153. Sorry about that.
So, and on the character sheet I meant. Okay. And then, wow, are they all combat spells? Let's see. Blur.
Charm Person, Acid Arrow, Color Spray, Magic Missile, Ray of Frost, Shield, Shocking Grasp. Looks like it. Now, the utility spells are different.
Oh, fair point.
Right? So utility, you've got Disguise Self, Featherfall, Hold Portal.
Okay.
Right? Those are all first level.
All right. I'm going to go with Disguise Self and Featherfall. So Disguise Self, Featherfall, Shield, and one more. Forgive me. This was always the hardest part for me, man.
Oh, no. It's
picking out spells.
So you just have one more, right?
Right. Let's see. Disguise Self, first level, Featherfall.
Wow. Blur. You or an ally, for the rest of the battle for 5 minutes, attacks against the target miss 20% of the time.
Oh, yeah,
that's pretty cool. Easy. So it basically blurs the attack.
Done. We've got 5 spells, ladies and gentlemen.
Very cool. I believe.
I didn't type anything in talents.
That's a good question. Let's take a look here. Talents, you don't. Do you have any? You do 3. You get 3 talents. Class talents are Abjuration, Cantrip Mastery, Evocation, High Arcana, Counter. These are on page 148, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
148. High Arcana, Counter Magic, Advances, Polysyllabic Verbalizations,
Huh.
Wizard's Familiar.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So those are your choice. You get 3 of those, right?
Yep.
Now you've already got Cantrip Mastery as a actual feat.
So don't need that as a talent.
Right.
So let's go with the Wizard's Familiar, because you don't get much
Gotta
more
have
classic than that.
Familiars are the smallest creatures that, by definition, pose little threat to human-sized combatants in a fight. They can be dogs, cats, frogs, hawks, owls, ravens, serpents, spiders, toads, whatever.
Nice.
Right? Let's see here. Yep.
I think I like that. We're going to go with Counter Magic.
Okay.
Magic.
You get to use this once per battle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And what is High Arcana? Options at
Your
lesser
study is
wizards.
the highest.
Unlike other spellcasters who can only choose a specific spell once, when you pick your spells, you can choose any daily wizard spell twice. I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
So you're going to get to use it daily twice. That's cool. And you can tell clearly there's some 4E.
A little bit of 4th edition bleed through. Yeah, you can see the parts in the book almost where the creator of 4th edition had the reins, and you can see parts in the book where the 3.5 guy had the reins. It's kind of cool.
Right. And they have these great sidebars where they talk about the arguments they had.
Right.
Because they couldn't agree on certain things. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
These 2 guys, they're obviously buddies, and they obviously decided to make their own version to D&D, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, you can definitely tell the dailies, the at-wills, all that stuff comes from the 4E.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But that's it. I mean, this is it. There's not a whole lot more for you, right? I mean, that's your wizard.
Sure.
I mean, at some point, total, I don't know how many spells are here, but again, the bloat is still ultimately under control.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So if you notice, when you get to level 10, you do not have any more first level spells. Level 3, no more first level spells. Level 5, no more. But you get 3/7 and you get 9. But when you get to level 10, you're not getting more and more spells at 1, 3, and 5.
Sure.
Right? By that point, you've already collected those spells. That's pretty cool. So again, you'll eventually, by the time you hit level 10, you would probably have every spell that the wizard could have in his arsenal.
Right.
Right? Which is pretty cool. So anyway, so there's some bloat here, obviously. Hard not to. I mean, there's bloat in D&D 5e. So
sure.
I think that finishes us, right? You got your feat, talent, you got your talents. There it is. How about that?
It's done.
Done. And that was pretty quick, actually, wasn't it?
Oh, I enjoyed the heck out of it. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. We've been at this maybe half an hour.
Yeah. So not too bad.
You know what we didn't finish was recoveries. Maximum.
Yeah, you get 8. You have 8.
Oh, okay,
you didn't take any feats that improved it, so you have 8.
Right. Dude, awesome.
Yeah. So at some point, it'll be fun to give this a try. We're gonna finish our Baldur's Gate. I promised the local group Baldur's Gate that we try to get everybody to level 3. So I'm hoping by the end of our next session next Saturday, we can get everybody to level 3. If you all survive.
Right.
It is the apocalypse. It is the apocalypse of Baldur's Gate now.
Hey, but we did stop this one bandit.
That's 2. You stopped 2. You stopped 2 pretty serious villains. Yes, you did. So, and then once we do that, we may try if everybody at the table is interested, we might try a game of Hollow Earth or a game of 13th Age or something. So, it'll be fun. Yeah, Monday night I'll have a chance to play with Runeslinger and Ivan, so that'll give me a chance to see what Hollow Earth feels like as a player before I DM it.
Sure.
So But yeah, this is great fun, man. And I look forward to playing a lot of this 13th Age locally and maybe online with you with Fantasy Grounds, right? You have the Fantasy Grounds stuff.
Yeah, we've got it all set up and ready to roll. It looks like there's a couple of module
Sweet.
books that they're going to come out with officially, and then we can actually input those. But until then, we'll be doing it a little bit manually, but that's okay. It looks like it's all set up and ready to roll. So
yeah, and this is pretty low impact theater of the mind stuff. A lot of role play. So
yep,
people will have to know a little bit about their feats and their talents and how that impacts play. But after a while, you memorize that stuff. No big deal.
totally. Yeah,
So,
the biggest part that Fantasy Grounds will bring to us is just facilitating dice rolls in front of everyone.
yes. Well, and maps, etc., which you're very, very good at.
Maps and graphics.
I stink
and
at that.
See, well, and I'm the theater reminded. We're not battle mapping 13th Age. It's right there in the book, man. There's no movement. You don't need that stuff.
Yeah, very cool. And I love. Did you see my video on the differences between 13th Age and everything else?
It had just finished uploading when we got back in the car to head back into town.
Because I love. There's no XP in the book anywhere.
Right.
You only level up after 4 major battles.
Huh.
So the game gets incredibly. You can get those recoveries. You seem like, wow, you got a lot of hit points, you got a lot of recoveries. Well, the problem is you can't do a full heal up or level up until you've seen 4 battles. The 4 battles could come in one day of gaming. They could come in. Like 3 or 4 nights. The point is, you can imagine what happens to your recoveries by your 3rd or 4th battle. Things get a little tight, a little dicey.
A little ugly, sure.
So very cool. And the damage, the monsters and things, it's all relative. But wow, it is as lethal as an OSR, except your heroes are also lethal.
From what I've read so far, it's a lot like the superheroes from 4th edition,
kind of
buckled up and ready to go up against the deadliness of an OSR.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just everything is. It's like, if this was Spinal Tap, we go to 11, but this kind of pushes it up to it goes to 10, but this kind of pushes it up to 11. If you've ever seen Spinal Tap,
right.
No, but this one goes to 11.
Right. I had a Fender amp that went to 11. Thank you very much.
You had?
Had.
Did you blow it up?
Pawn shops are ugly thing.
Right. That's where all of my musical equipment ended up, was at a pawn shop. Yeah. All of my music, keyboards, drum machines, recording, all that stuff, microphones.
Alvarez guitars. Oh, it's so sad. Yes. I don't even want to think about it.
Everything, yeah. So funny. I don't think there's an American male that hasn't been in a band at some point in his life, right?
Right. Oh, no. Whether you were horrible and sucked like me or you were amazing like my brother. Yeah, we've all been in the band.
Now, once in a while, if you watch Ivan Mike's channel, he breaks out his bass and does some licks in his videos.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he's
awesome.
Horrible. No, I'm kidding. He's actually pretty darn good. I don't know why he doesn't play more. All of his videos, he should intro with a little bass riff,
Absolutely. He'd bring his own music. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to steal music like I do.
Same.
All right, my friend. I'm sorry I won't be there, Mike, tonight, Mike. We got this barbecue thing with a client, so I, got to do what I got to do. So,
yep. But
don't kill Delg. We'll get it all. Hopefully, we'll work out Friday nights, and that'll make things a lot smoother for me.
Oh, you're going in the well, buddy.
I don't know what's happening because they're going to keep leveling up while Delg is hanging around at level 2 or 3, right?
Well, then my son's character gets to experience that tonight too. He's been out for a solid month, and I'm not giving him a free level up.
No, I wouldn't. No, you're just going to have to hide behind the paladin.
That's it. Get behind the tower shield.
Perfect. All right, my friend. Have a great Saturday.
Have a good one.
We'll see you at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. We'll be there.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Late.